Good morning, boys. I welcome you to the biozoology class for 9th standard. Yesterday, we discussed some of the invertebrate phyla till Platyhelminthes. Today, the continuation of that classification, we will discuss about the phylum Aschelminthes, which is also called as Nematohelminthes or nematodes. You all know that all the worms, certain worms live in the body of human beings as parasites. Certain worms are living in the sand or soil as the free living forms. But especially the roundworms, which is also known as the nematodes, that they live in the intestine of man, which causes a disease is called as Escherichiasis. Now we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of the roundworms. Aschelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical. You all know that according to the plane of arrangement of organs, animals are classified into three main kinds. One is asymmetrical, another one is radially symmetrical, third one is bilaterally symmetrical. You all know that in the bilaterally symmetrical animals, the organs are arranged along the central axis of the body of animals. So, Aschelminthes is a bilaterally symmetrical animals. The body wall is composed of three layers, so they are called as triploblastic animals. The body cavity is a pseudocoelom. You all know that a coelom, the fluid-filled cavity, which is originated from the mesoderm of the embryonic development. Here, the false coelom, the coelom is not actually developed or originated from the mesoderm. So, pseudocoelomate, they exist as free living soil forms or as parasites. Some of these forms are living in the soil, so they need not depend upon any other animals for their needs of food and shelter. But some of the animals or some of the worms are living in the body of human beings as parasites. So parasites are the living organisms which are living at the expense of other living organisms. As a result of this association of life, parasites are benefited because they are getting food and shelter from the host organisms, but the host organisms are harmed by developing some diseases by the parasites in the body of host organisms. The body is round and pointed at both ends. You see the diagram. Both ends of these worms, male and female worms, are pointed in nature or sharp in nature. So the body is round and pointed at the both ends. It is unsegmented, no segments are found. So unsegmented body is seen in the body of Aschelminthes parasites or worms covered by a thin, soft cuticle. Cuticle is nothing but the skin. Sexes are separate so that it has two types of or two sexes of organisms. So this is not hermaphrodite, but the Aschelminthic worms are showing two different sexes, male and female, respectively. So they exhibit sexual dimorphism. So sexually dimorphic worms. The most common diseases caused by nematodes in human beings are elephantiasis and Escherichiasis. You all know that. Elephantiasis, it is known as in Tamil, Yanakal Noi. The legs, the breast, the hands, the scrotum will be in a very enormous or large in size due to the accumulation of these worms which will block the way of lymph. It is a fluid produced by the lymphatic system, that is lymph glands and lymph nodes. So these are the two diseases which are caused by the worms, parasitical worms in human beings. One is Escherichiasis Another one is elephantiasis. It is also known as filariasis, filarial worm. Right. So these are the characteristic features of phylum Aschelminthus, a kind of a phylum in invertebrates. The next one is phylum Annelida. You all know that annelids are the segmented bodied animals. All the annelids, they are not parasites, they are free living forms. The body is composed of so many segments. So, the segmented bodied animals are called as annelids. For example, Nereis, earthworms, leech, etc. Now you see the characteristic features of these annelids. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, first true coelomate animals with organ system grade of organization. Dear boys, here there are three important characteristic features of annelids are very important. One is annelids are coelomates. They have true coelom. That is, the fluid filled cavity is originated from the mesoderm. This mesoderm is found in between ectoderm and endoderm. This cavity filled or is found in between the digestive tract and the body wall. So true coelom is found. This is the first true coelomate. Which one? The annelids. Next, they possess organs. You know that cells are the basic units of all living. Group of cells which are related function will form the higher grade is called as a tissue. Number of related tissues combine to form an organ, but group of related organs will combine to form a system called as organ system. The first organ system grade of organization is found in the invertebrate animals, especially annelids. Okay, right. Body is externally divided into segments called metameres. When you look at the body of these animals, so I think every one of you has seen the earthworms. When you see the earthworms morphologically, you can find there are segments. So the segments are seen when you see the animals. These segments are called as metameres. See, externally divided into segments called metameres. Next, joined by ring-like structures called annuli. These segments are connected with one another. These segments are joined with one another or joined with each other by means of a structure is called as annulus singular, annuli plural. Okay. Next, it is covered by moist thin cuticle. Moist means you know that wet. See, because the respiratory activity of certain animals is done through the skin. So skin is the absorptive organ of oxygen from the atmospheric air. Therefore, in certain animals, the skin or the cuticle of these animals will be moist in condition always. So the skin of these annelids are always moist in nature, that is wet in nature. Then they have the locomotory organs. See, earthworm has the locomotory organ, namely CT, body CT. And Nereis has the locomotory organs, namely parapodia. So podia means the legs. So body CT and parapodia are the locomotory organs of these worms or these annelids, by which they are moving from one place to another. Sexes are separate. Here they are showing sexually dimorphism. Male and female animals are available, except a few. Some animals are having both the sex organs in the same body, hermaphrodite, for example, earthworm. Some of the animals are showing sexually dimorphism, so that animals are possessing both male and female sex organs in different individuals. So, example for this annelids is Nereis, earthworm and leech. Right. Next, phylum Arthropoda. Arthro means joint. Poda means, I told you, legs. Jointed or joint legged animals, or the legs will be jointed in nature. Arthropoda is the largest phylum in animal kingdom. You all know that. It is the largest phylum because more than 10,000 species of animals are found in this. Or this is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom, or we can say that this is the largest phylum in invertebrates. Right? So totally both invertebrates and vertebrates, this is the largest phylum. These animals of this phylum is also bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. When you see the animals, you can divide the body into three parts. Head, you all know that. Eyes, mouth, antennae, all such organs are found in the head region. Even tentacles. But these animals are not possessing tentacles. These animals are having antennae. And these animals are having eyes, simple eyes, compound eyes. These animals are having mouth. So all such organs are situated in the head region. Therefore, head, thorax means, which is otherwise called as chest region, then abdomen. So the body is divisible into three parts. One is head, thorax, and abdomen. Each thoracic segment bears a pair of jointed legs. Say, you take Periplanta americana, commonly it is called as a cockroach. It has three pairs of legs in the ventral side. The legs are attached to the thorax region. Each segment is having a pair of jointed legs. Each leg has 5 joints: coxa, femur, trochanter, tarsus, and tibia. So I am telling all this. Jointed legs are the characteristic features of this phylum Arthropoda. Next, exoskeleton is made up of chitin. When you touch on the surface of the cockroach or crab or prawn, you can feel some sort of hardness in the skin. So that exoskeleton, the skeleton which will cover the entire body of the animals externally, is made up of a special type of chemical substance called as chitin. The exoskeleton is also called as chitinous exoskeleton. Right? Exoskeleton is made up of chitin and is shed periodically. The skin is removed. The skin is falling down. When the growth occurs, during the period of growth of organisms, the skin sheds periodically, regularly or periodically. The skin of all those animals are removed or automatically falling down. So, shedding of skin during the period of growth of these animals are called as ecdysis or molting. தோல் உரிகிறதுன்னு சொல்கிறது. Right? The casting off or removal of and regrowing of exoskeleton is called as molting. அது தோல் உறிஞ்சிரும். அதுக்கு பிறகு அவர் அடியில் தோல் வளர்ந்ததுக்கு பிறகு தான் அந்த ஓலன் skin or that skin which has the dead cells will be removed from the body of animals. Then the regrowing of exoskeleton will occur. So the periodical shedding of skin from the body of animals is termed as ecdysis, which is also known as molting. So this is the characteristic feature of arthropods. Next, body cavity is filled with a hemolymph. Say, you break the head or you break the body of a cockroach, you can see some fluid which will be coming out from the body, colorless fluid. The colorless fluid is called as a hemolymph. See, the blood is running through the blood vessels in the higher animals, but whereas in the case of annelids, there is no blood vessels. So, the blood runs all over the body through the body cavities. The blood is named as a hemolymph. Since the blood is running through the body cavity to the all over the body of these animals, therefore this type of circulatory system is called as a open type of circulatory system. Right? Now you see, The blood does not flow in blood vessels and circulates throughout the body. Open circulatory system. Respiration is through by body surface, gills or trachea. Dear boys, gills, you know that it is the characteristic feature of aquatic animals. All the animals which are living in water, they can respire only through the gills. So gills are the respiratory organs of aquatic organisms. So annelids, some of the organisms which are living in water, some of the organisms are which is submerged in water can respire only through the gills. Some of the terrestrial organisms which are living on land, they can respire only through the respiratory tubes called as tracheae, air tubes. Excretion, the waste products of the body or the waste products which are found in the blood of the body of annelids will be separated or will be removed outside by means of a respiratory organ is called as a Malpighian tubules or green glands. Excretion occurs by Malpighian tubules and or green glands. Here also, it is a somewhat developed animal than the previous animals that we discussed. So annelids. So there is no hermaphrodite in nature. The sex organs are not found in the single animal. Sexes are separate, sexually dimorphic animals. So these animals are showing sexes in different animals. Male and female animals are available in this. So for example, prawn, crab, cockroach, millipedes, centipedes. Millipedes, atta. Centipedes, pura. Spider and scorpion. These are all the examples of the phylum Arthropoda. It is the largest phylum in the kingdom Animalia. Therefore, these are the characteristic features of this phylum Annelida. With this, we will conclude this class because the time is up. The remaining classes we will continue in the coming period. Thank you so much.